Hey guys, gonna make another quick YouTube video. Picked up another machine here, 24 Kubota U48-5. I went with the open cab machine. Gonna make a video before I got it real nasty. It's pretty wet here in East Tennessee, and it doesn't take long for me to get a machine real nasty. But as I was looking on YouTube, not a whole lot of videos. Messick's and Tractor Time with Tim put out a video, and then Skidco made a video kind of looking over the machine. Both of those machines were cab machines. In my line of work, we're a lot of times we're in the middle of the road, or in places that's too swing radius, and being able to see 360 degrees, hear all around you is really important. So I went with an open cab. My bigger machines have cabs, but this one, I wanted one where I could visibility and sound is really important for me. Picked up this machine about a week ago. It replaced I had a Kubota SK35-5. I had a thumb on it. Had absolutely no complaints with that machine. If you're looking for a 3.5 metric ton reduced radius swing, highly recommend it. I had it for 10 years, put about 3,000 hours on it, never had any issues. Great machines. But when I've had a lot of I've got a good dealer, RJV, here in Knoxville. They're in Nashville too, I believe Tri-Cities as well. Got that little machine. I got a 75-3 skid steer. They take good care of me, and so I looked at theirs. I know Kubota has the SK45, which is basically the 55 with a shorter, I believe it's a shorter boom and stick and less counterweight. I'm sure it's a great machine. I'd run a 55. It was a good machine. The only issue I had on it was when you're running these machines, especially I'm not going to say bigger zero swing, but when you get to the 4 metric ton, 5 metric ton, when you're in the seat, when you're sitting in the cab, the visibility in the cab, so the Kubota had the hood was larger, so a lot of times when you're digging, being able to see down in here, and just the visibility of the hood, the bigger that hood is, the less visibility you have. And with this one, I was really happy with. It wasn't that much different than my my Kubota, the 35. I was digging with this. I demoed it. Was just happy with it. Really happy with it. Happy with the Kubota. Their quick quick connect on their bucket system, where it shares the same pivot as the actual mount. instead of mounting the bucket lower, you don't lose any breakout force. So that was a plus for the Kubota. I don't know if it was a deal killer for other brands, but it was a plus for this one. Visibility on this machine is good. I'm 6'2", so all of these machines are a little cramped, especially in a reduced radius swing. This one's not real bad, but like I said, I've got really long legs, so none of them are perfect. They're not a big trackhoe by any stretch of the imagination. But one of the things that you'll notice if you demo one of these machines or if you run one is how quiet they are. I don't know that you're gonna, I know sometimes when you video something, it always seems like it's louder than it is, but this thing is so quiet. That's wide open. Even with an open machine, cab machine, it is so quiet. Which is like I said, being able to hear around was a huge deal for me. So I'm very happy with that. Your Messick's and Skidco, they talked about this this LCD screen. Some people get real excited about this stuff. To me, it just seems like, especially the cover for this cab isn't very big, so this thing's going to take a lot of weather. I just worry kind of how long that's going to last. But I mean, it's you know, it's got some cool stuff on there. You can service logs, you can track jobs with it, and then your hydraulics. You can change your flow setting, which is cool, between like a hammer, or I think they've got a mulching head, a small mulching head. I've actually got a small mulching head for a bigger machine, but there's no way I'm going to run it with this open cab. But different attachments, you can adjust it, your flow on there, and then you've got your typical just your lights. I've got the auto idle. Obviously don't need windshield wipers or any of that, but and then you can turn your backup alarm off. But on this one, something interesting about this, and you'll see it in some other videos. So in order, like when you go to use your thumb or your glide switch for your auxiliary hydraulics, you have to hit your auxiliary, which on the skid steers you would hit a button over here, but here you push that button and then that runs your auxiliary hydraulic, which took, to be honest with you, took a day or two for me to get used to. I've put, I think, 15 hours on this machine. The ergonomics, pretty straightforward. Seats, just a regular seat, pretty comfortable. That's as far as it'll go back. Fuse panel, I'm not exactly sure what's in there. I haven't opened it yet. Your put fuel in it right there. There's a place to hold a grease gun in there. All the grease points are pretty accessible. You do have to move the boom around. One thing with Kubota, on their skid steers, they're so much easier to grease. They do a lot of forward thinking in making grease fittings accessible. This one, you do have to move the boom around a little bit to grease stuff. but I've got the LED. When this machine came in, I needed it that day, and they weren't able to put my lights on yet, but I've got the LED light kit that's coming. It's got the 4-way blade. This one thing I did like about your swing and this back cylinder, it's the grease points are right there, and then the hitch, you do have to rotate the hitch in order to grease your upper and lower points on the hitch. Here's the hydraulic system. It does have this valve where you have to switch it, like if you're going to run between a hammer and other attachments. This one doesn't have the it's got the diverter valve on the boom instead of having the second hydraulic circuit. I know some of the cab ones, I think most of the cab ones do have that second circuit. This one doesn't. I know one thing that on my Kubota, I had to take this top off to put hydraulic fluid in it. This one, I'm glad I know it's a small thing, but having this fill cap, I was very appreciative to that, because it sucks taking that thing off on the Kubota. Air filter, radiators, coolers, pretty straightforward there. And then engine compartment, really compact. Kubota does a good job of making these things really serviceable. DPF there. This is a little turbocharged diesel motor. Oil filter right there. That one's going to be a little harder to get out, but not that big of a deal. Fuel filter there. Fuel filter right there, separator. Very happy with this machine. So far, the digging with it has really good breakout. 2-foot bucket. It doesn't even notice. I mean, you can dig through, it digs really well. I got a 1-foot, a 2-foot, and 3-foot bucket. The U48 has a different bucket than the KXs. The KXs have a taller bucket because they have more counterweight. The machine is offset, and can handle more off the sides of the tracks. This thing, when I first got on it, I was a little disappointed in how much it will handle over the sides of the tracks. I was thinking it would handle weight a little better when you got the bucket, a bunch of concrete in the bucket or a bunch of dirt. It does seem to get a little light and a little tippy, but that's honestly, when you're running a zero or a reduced radius swing machine, that's kind of par for the course. So but the undercarriage, I'm happy with that. I think Kubota does a good job of putting pretty beefy undercarriages on their machines. So yeah, I'm very happy with the machine. It took a little getting used to, but now that I've run it for a day or so, a couple days, I'm very, very happy with it. It's exactly what I wanted. But yeah, quick video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just remind you guys, I was reading this morning in John chapter 6 verse 68. Jesus is talking to the disciples. He tells them some pretty hard stuff in John chapter 6, and his disciples start to flee, and he asked Peter, he says, are you going to depart as well? And he said, Lord, where will we go? For you have the words of eternal life. And as we live in a day that's desperate for knowledge and wisdom, and turn to the scriptures, look to Christ. He has the words. He is the word of eternal life. Have a great day, guys.